最果てのストーリー抱いてあてもなくさまよい続けた滲んだ New World It's only just begun 今始まりの This is where tomorrow brings a new day Start to learn the play this game Ready fight
Welcome into episode 5 of the
Geeks by Night subbed and dubbed anime book club.
Oh, wow.
I didn't jump into the screen.
No, you didn't, but you said it all like super mellow. Geeks by Night subbed and dubbed anime book club.
It was hard to keep myself in, man.
Yeah, okay.
Only so much I can do. Excitement or face and screen. Which do you want?
So, like last week, I believe it was last week, I forgot to move the camera again. Was it last week? Yeah. I'm going to move it. Here we go. Now I'm looking straight at the camera, looking at you. Okay, whatever. It's all good. So, I am one of your co-hosts, Courtney Osborne, one of the co-founders of Geeks by Night, and I'm joined by my always lovely co-host, Mr. Josh. Yay, Josh.
Clap for myself.
He started a slow clap for me earlier when we were playing Rocket League, and it was awesome. I was really proud of myself. Really proud. Super proud. Not very proud.
I was proud of him.
Anyways, so if you're watching this, hopefully you've watched all the other episodes, all 4 of our the first 4 episodes of this podcast, and you know what we're doing here. But if you don't, this is our anime podcast where we talk about a few episodes of a specific anime each week. We will watch through the entire series as we go on. Right now, we are in the middle of Btooom. So last week, we watched episodes 1 through 3, and this week, we're going to be talking about episodes 4 through 6 a little bit later on after we get through the intro and a little bit of news. And then we're also going to be talking about, what is it, Wakakazake or...
Wakakazake?
Yeah, that an anime short that we started this week, and we're gonna be watching 3 episodes of that per week also.
Until we catch up, which will be in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, so we got a while. That's still 3 episodes, man. 3 episodes. But if you do like this podcast or our other podcast, the Geeks by Night Games Cast, you can find both podcasts on just about any podcast service you like. We are on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Podbean. We have an RSS feed. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. Everywhere, search for Geeks by Night or Nightly Geeks. You could find us. The links will be in the description of every podcast, every video, everywhere. So if you do like us, please follow us or subscribe to us. And if you're really nice, you could leave us a review, even if it's not a 5-star. We don't care. We'll take constructive criticism. If you don't like what we're doing, if you hate our intro or our outro.
Our intro?
Yes. And then we're also on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr. Just search for Geeks by Night or Nightly Geeks there too. And new to this past week, we started our Patreon finally. So if you want to support us, support what we're doing, if you like what we're doing, you can by going to patreon.com/geeksbynight. What's special about our Patreon is that we don't have tiers, so we're not gonna bar off any content for anybody, no matter what you decide to give us or not give us. We didn't want to do that to people. We didn't have anything really cool that we could do. We're like, if people like what we're doing, they can give us $1, they can give us $5, or give us nothing, and we're still going to give them all of our content. So if you do want to support us, it's easy to find, patreon.com/geeksbynight. All right, so this podcast, every Saturday afternoon, around 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, or anywhere between that and about 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, whatever.
Somewhere in there.
Gives us an entire week to watch all the anime we can and come back and talk about it. So, Josh, what all anime have you watched in the past week?
I actually did watch a couple episodes of anime other than my required.
You did?
I did. I watched some Do Ra 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 X2.
Nice.
And my goodness, this season is so good. The last 2 episodes are probably the best 2 episodes of Do Ra 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 that there have been.
Cool.
And that's a really good show.
Yeah, I really liked season 1.
And as soon as it comes out with dub, you got to watch season 2.
For sure. And then I'll probably rewatch season 1 right before it because it's been so long. But yeah. The past week, what have I been watching? I've been watching Shikabane Hime. Love, love, love that one, and haven't seen it in a few years. And so, every night this past week, I've been reading for about 3 or 4 hours, sometimes 5. But right after I'm done reading, I'll turn it on and I'll watch an episode or two before bed, and then watch like an episode before I get up and go to work. And so I've been slowly making my way through that series. I'm about halfway through that again, and then of course Btooom. But that's about all I've watched this week. Well, I did watch Mad Max, but that's not anime. Awesome movie.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so this week we're going to be talking about Btooom episodes 4 through 6 and Waka Kozake episodes 1 through 3. Next week, if you want to tune in for that episode and you want to participate in the discussion or anything, you can. Make sure you watch Btooom episodes 7 through 9. Excuse me. And Waka Kozake 4 through 6. Sorry, I'm drinking a Red Bull, so like I've got the burps now all of a sudden. Just yeah, Courtney, you're gonna start podcasting, so let's just make you start burping like crazy. Yeah, thanks, Red Bull. Anyways, notes for those two anime. They're both available on Crunchyroll, and Btoom's also available on Hulu. So check those out there. Really good, especially Btooom. But without further ado, let's not pussyfoot around. What's on the news today, Josh?
On the news, the 20 most anticipated anime for fall of 2015.
Really? How did people vote for this? Where was this at?
This is some sort of Crunchyroll thing. Japanese fans only, though. So it's not what the Americans like or care for, but it could be. I mean,
fucking Americans. Go on.
All right, so at the top of the list, at number 20, is Fist of the North Star, Strawberry Flavor.
Isn't that a
Strawberry Flavor?
Isn't there a game based off of that, or
I think there's a Fist of the North Star game,
or is there an anime based off a game?
Well, anyways, number 19 is Subete ga Fininaru, The Perfect Insider. Never heard of it.
Me either.
18 is Tiki, which I think is an anime short that's got like 1 billion episodes. 17, Diabolic Lovers, More Blood, so I have to watch more of that awful show.
Wait, explain to those listening and watching why you have to watch more of that.
Well, my whole philosophy is if I start an anime, I have no choice but to finish said anime. And so I was like, hey, this has pretty good looking animation. You know, if there's a company that's willing to put in money to get this good of animation, it must be decent, right? No, wrong. Not good, but it's too late.
You recognize this is a flaw in your thinking, and yet you still continue to do it. We need to fix that someday.
Someday you can try. Number 16 is Fafnir Exodus 2.
I believe I watched 15. The first one of that.
There's a lot of different Fafnirs.
Fafnir and the Azure. I've seen that one.
It's amazing, honestly, how many different Fafnirs there are. I don't know what even any of that's about or how it has so many. We should find out sometime.
Yeah, we should.
15 is Aria the Scarlet Ammo AA. 14 is Heavy Object. 13, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Iron-Blooded Orphans.
So apparently that's about orphans who are related to Iron Man. Corpse is Buried Under Sakurako's Feet is number 12.
What the fuck is that? I'm gonna Google that. You continue on.
All right. 11 is K Return of Kings, which is very exciting because I really liked K. I'd still have to watch the movie though. There's a movie between these two seasons, and that's unfortunate because I don't want to have to go find that.
All right. So before we continue on, never mind. I didn't come up with a good synopsis there. Wikipedia, you let me down. Here we go. I got it on my anime list. It says a high schooler is living in Asahikawa City in Hokkaido. Meets, oh my god, another name. A bone-loving Uji-san who has the ability to analyze specimen. Because of meeting her, he has to accompany her to various cases. Okay, that does not help. Anyways, let's move on.
All right, so pretending that we never ever even looked that up. Number 10 is Attack on Titan Junior High. I don't know why it's a thing. I will never know why it's a thing.
It looks so
but
silly.
I probably participate in watching this thing.
I think I will too.
Like, it's the weirdest possible anime to have a junior high version of.
When it starts, we should start watching an episode a week and talking about it.
Which should be just because.
Yeah.
All right, 9 is Yuri San Hale. 8.
Isn't Yuri guy on guy?
No, that's the opposite. But it's not. I think Yuri has a little bit of Yuri, but it's not really focused on that. I think one of the names is Yuri.
Girls Love is Yuri. Okay.
Yeah. 8 is Osamatsu-san. 7 is Lupin the Third, a new series of Lupin the Third, which is interesting.
I can't believe that's still going.
I know, it's been around forever and ever. 6 is One Punch Man, which is by far my most looked forward to anime of the fall season. Like, oh my goodness. It looks so weird, but at the same time, so awesome. And the main character, he looks hilarious. And awesome at the same time. Like, he goes back and forth between like duh and badass.
Oh, that stupid face.
5 is Noragami Aragoto. Yeah.
Nice.
Noragami Aragoto, which is the sequel series to Noragami, which was fantastic. 4 Owari Monogatari, because there's never enough Monogatari apparently. Like, there's Nisei Monogatari, Ore Monogatari, Bake Monogatari. Too many Monogataris. 3, Seraph of the End, Battle in Nagoya. I think I'm saying that wrong.
Yeah,
but
Nagoya.
2 is Haikyuu. I guess a lot of, like, almost all of these are sequel series.
It's like a haiku, but it's Haikyuu! You know.
And for some reason, it's about volleyball. Because that needed an anime. And number 1 overall, most votes, and specifically, they also split it between what guys are most excited for and what girls are most excited for. Is the Order of Rabbit is the guys specifically most excited for show.
The plot says Koko Hoto moves into a new town to attend school. There she begins living with Chino Kafu at her family's Rabbit House Cafe, working as a waitress to pay for her accommodation. So it's a fan service anime, seems like. Slice of life comedy fan service.
And that's why the guys are all wanting to watch it.
Yeah,
That's,
girls dressed like rabbits. Woo! I will never get into that.
Think of something better.
I'll never get into that. So, yeah, any of these, which ones of these are on your most anticipated list out of all of them?
Definitely K, the Return of King, second season.
Oh, yeah, me too.
One Punch Man. Noragami, second season. We're going to watch the Attack on Titan because it's Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cry through the rest of Diabolic Lovers.
The only one off of that list that I'm not interested in all the ones that you are, obviously, but there are a few of them. But one of them that you didn't mention that I am interested in is Arya the Scarlet Ammo. I watched the first one of that, and I liked it a lot. So I'd watch the second season or another season. I don't know if it's the second season. I will look that up. Let's find out. Eventually.
If you can click the right link.
Yeah. No, it's not the second season. It's the third season, it looks like.
Oh, man, you got to catch up.
I know. It's got to be dubbed, though.
That's true.
So that wraps up our very, very, very short news segment. As usual, very, very short. Not a lot of anime news that either we care about or that we pay attention to. If you have a big anime news story that you see and you want us to talk about it next week, make sure you email us. Email us the story, email us a link to it. contact@geeksbynight.com. Super easy to get a hold of us. We'd love to talk about more. We just don't pay attention enough. I have a day job. All right, so let's move into the book club discussion. And this week we get to start off with our anime shorts, Wakakozake.
Beautifully pronounced.
Yeah, slowly, phonetically. Yeah, there you go. So there are 3 episodes we're talking about here. They're each 2 minutes long. Episode 1. I took some quick notes on it because you can't really take a whole lot of notes on a really short anime. One of the things I noticed is out of this 2-minute anime, 33 seconds of it is the intro.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of content to this. So
No.
just so you're aware, this will be moved through very quickly.
Yeah.
If you blink, we'll be talking about Btooom.
Yep. So episode 1, she's eating salmon and drinking sake. She makes a joke at the end. Well, not really a joke, but the guys next to her want to eat rice with their salmon, and she like totally is pissed off at that. And at the end, she's just like, "Is this how the world is? I need another drink." And then it's over. And just like, what the fuck?
Episode 1!
What did I just watch? I can't believe that.
Also, her eyes are like
Yeah.
this, and it's not like everyone in the anime's eyes are like that.
No.
Just hers.
She doesn't have like any detail in her face. It's just like just all one color, and it's like, yeah, it's funny. Episode 2, I love episode 2 the most out of all these.
Yeah.
She's ordering fried chicken, and she's like drooling as she orders it, and like the entire episode she's just complaining about how fried chicken is so good, but yet it's so bad for you. But it's so good, but it's so bad for you. And she's like, it's just not fair. And then she's like, why is it that beer and fried chicken go so well together? And then every time she has this like, yeah, this like orgasmic moment with her food. She's like, phew. And she did that right after that. And then at the end, she has this like flashback to at work or whatever, and her boss is like, "Did you gain weight?" She's like, "Damn it."
Sexual harassment.
Yeah, I guess then. Yep.
Anyways, episode 3.
Okay, what is monkfish? She was eating monkfish liver in ponzu.
I don't know, but it sounds so disgusting.
Yeah, it does sound disgusting.
And it smells bad, apparently. But she says once it gets to the back of your throat and you drink some sake with it, all of a sudden it smells like umami.
Whatever that is. Do you know what that is?
No, we're very well informed on what we're talking about.
Liver of the monkfish is a controversial delicacy, apparently.
Umami is pleasant and savory.
Huh.
So I guess it was more regarding the taste, and the translation was just bad. But hey, she says it tastes good.
Okay, so it's ankimo, the Japanese dish made with monkfish liver. Liver is first rubbed with salt, then rinsed with sake. And the veins are picked out, and the liver is rolled into a cylinder and steamed. It's often served with something. Thinly sliced scallions and ponzu sauce. It's considered one of the delicacies of Japan. It's listed as number 32 on the world's 50 most delicious foods, compiled by CNN Go. I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Interesting. But yeah, so she's talking about, or while she's eating this, she's daydreaming about how she took the fall for some guy at work. And at the end, she daydreams about choking him out. It's so funny. And then she's like, tomorrow I'll have to deal with him. And then it's over. It's just like, what the fuck is this? So that wraps up our Wakakozake moment. Yeah.
Wakakozake!
So that was interesting.
It's very exciting.
Yep. I'm really looking forward to see where this story goes.
Yeah, I know. I'm just sitting here wondering, like, what kind of food will she eat next?
I'm glad she had fried chicken at least. That was awesome.
I feel like one of these days during the podcast, or at least the people watching the video, we should do our own episode of Wakakuzake.
Ooh.
Because all we had to do is sit there with a plate of food and make stupid remarks.
Yeah.
Boom. Episode of Wakakuzake.
We should spoof it. I like it. That's a good idea.
Look forward to it.
Look forward to that. A Geeks by Night exclusive. I don't know.
No, you don't.
I'm not a DJ or anything like that.
So, Btooom.
On to Btooom! This week, episodes 4 through 6. Last week, where did we end up? Do you remember?
We ended up, Tyra comes out, and Tyra and Ryoto come out to where they've heard an explosion, saw a person. It's a kid. He got blood on his face, and he looks crazy. He makes it pretty clear that he killed the dude in front of him, and that's pretty much where you leave off.
Yep. Okay, so then it starts off with basically a flashback to before the island. There's this kid, and they're talking about him on the news about how this kid killed these like 3 girls or something like that, and then raped them. Yeah, and then raped them
Afterwards.
after. Yeah, and then this lawyer decides to take on his case and defend him, and apparently he's really good about doing this kind of stuff, getting people off, even though it's like super convincing that they did it, and he apparently wins and gets him out of this stuff. And then so the lawyer, the kid, and his dad all get put on the island for some reason. I wonder why. They're all there. He's sitting there killing frogs at the beginning of the episode. Fucking weirdo. His dad ends up wanting to get the food that's up in the tree and commands him to do it. Does he say no, or he just acts scared?
He's just slowly walking,
Yeah.
and his dad like kicks him backwards. Hurry up, like that's gonna help.
Yeah. And then he tries to use his bomb. He tries to use the kid's bomb to blow up the tree, and then he can't use it, and so he tells the kid to do it. The kid eventually does it. At one point, his dad gets really mad at him, and he fucking grabs the kid's balls and squeezes them and yells at him. And I'm at that point like, oh my god, no.
Yeah.
And the kid snaps. Just clicks. Just loses it. Grabs one of his bombs, sticks it to his dad's shirt, and starts laughing at him. And the lawyer's like, take off your shirt! And so he starts to try to take it off. He gets it up over here, and then just completely, like, it's this, like, disintegration bomb. Like a...
Yeah,
almost,
they call it like an implosion bomb.
it's almost like a different... Like, it takes it to a different dimension, like in other shows. And so, like, a giant circle just disappears. And so whenever he gets his shirt up there, it just takes off like the top half of his body, just disappears, and his body falls over bleeding, and it's so gross, and blood splatters on the kid's face, and he's just like and then he looks over at the lawyer and he's like, he provoked me. You could get me off, right? You could make sure I don't go to jail, right? You did it before. And the lawyer's
I'm
like,
crazy, right? So it's okay.
The lawyer's just like freaking the fuck out. Oh man, that kid is nuts. Absolutely nuts. The lawyer runs away. Doesn't stick around there. I don't think I would either. And then that's when Sakamoto runs in. And this, I believe, is your favorite part of the show, right? Favorite part of this week's episodes?
Yes.
So explain.
So Sakamoto. Okay, Sakamoto runs in, and they talk back and forth for a little bit, and it's pretty clear that the kid is going to kill them. So he and Tyra run off. Tyra trips. He's hurt. Sakamoto says, "You stay here. I'll take on the kid." So he runs back towards the other direction, so the kid will follow him because the radar pings don't pick up people who are standing still. So the kid chases him down, and they finally run at each other because it's like a Btooom tactic that's like recommended or something like that. It's like the number one tactic is to run at your opponent. And as soon as they meet, they both realize, oh my gosh, this dude plays Btooom. So they jump back, and the kid instantly is ready, throws a cracker, almost kills Sakamoto, and the real fight begins.
Yeah. And it's like the way I described it is I wrote down my notes and says, I love when Sakamoto gets serious and starts bawling out, canceling radar and stuff. Like Sakamoto, something clicks in him, and he's like, this is just like the game, and he treats it just like the game. And so he's sprinting, canceling radar, throwing bombs, like just doing these awesome moves and stuff. And then at the very, very end of the episode, all of a sudden realizes that when he knocks out the kid, I believe, right? Is that yeah, he knocks out the kid, and it just clicks again. But this time, when he clicks, he realizes that, oh shit, this is real life. I just about killed this kid.
Yeah.
And I've already killed one person, and now I'm about to kill another. And he starts freaking out again, and then episode over. And it's just like, oh gosh.
The one thing though, like the cracker, when it's showing the cracker come at the kid, there's nothing between the kid and the cracker. The cracker is not gonna just drop out of the air from where it is. The cracker definitely should have killed him.
Yeah. Well, it's just like every
So
time
I'm not entirely
Sakamoto escapes one of the explosions too. You know?
Yeah.
It's just like these two, or a few people in the show, just get extremely lucky time and time again, and avoid getting killed. And I don't know how, but was it? No, that's another bomb later on. That's a Tyra's bomb. I was gonna say one of them don't have a very big radius, but it wasn't theirs. So yeah, so episode 1 or episode 4, sorry, episode 1 for this week. It was really intense. I loved that scene when they were matching each other, like move for move. Yeah. It was so cool because camera would go back and forth between them, and they like both of them were thinking, you know, like this is a game, and the kid was like, this is so much fun. He was like really, really enjoying it, and he was like, I love this. I'm just like, oh my god, this kid has no idea. Like he is so disconnected with reality right now. Oh, balls.
Coolest scene from that is when Sakamoto's. It was like right after he convinced himself that he was like back in the game, and he's just standing there out in the open, and the kid comes and he's like, "Oh, I got him now," and he chucks one of his implosion bombs that sticks to things and then blows it up, and Sakamoto just goes, holds out one of his BIM cases, catches the bomb on it, and just chucks it.
Yeah,
like, I was ready for that.
An empty BIM case too. It was just like, and he didn't go like throw it out there or anything. He just slowly lifted it up. It pins to it, and then he just tossed it. And the kid just like, oh my god! It was so funny. Like it was. Oh yeah, really good episode. I really enjoyed episode 4. All right, so episode 5. What happened in episode 5?
They were sitting down eating. Tyra and Sakamoto. They got back. He didn't die.
Nope. Tyra's still alive.
Yeah, that's the shocking thing. Tyra's made it. He's in episode 5 now.
Yep.
And they're eating. Tyra's telling him that he's like a hero, and he's crying. And Sakamoto's like, I've never had this much gratefulness shown to me ever.
Yeah, because they got the food from the kid. Because the kid had the food earlier, and they ended up taking it. And that's from the last episode, and that's how they have food.
But then the dead fat guy washes up.
Yep. So last week I ended up saying that I thought he was going to survive because it just showed him get blown off the cliff or whatever. Nope.
He didn't survive.
Apparently did not survive. He ended up washing up completely upside down, so his face is underwater, which clearly indicates that he's goner. He can't breathe underwater like that. But even so, I was like, maybe he's just knocked out and he's going to come back to life. But you fast forward a little bit in the episode, and Tyra pulls out one of the green gem from his hand. And at that point, I was like, nope, he's dead. Like, you can't take it out unless they're dead. So.
And that is another interesting thing, that Tyra now has 3 of those, his own.
Yep.
And then he took the one from the kid's dad, and then he took that one. And nobody knows about it but Tyra.
Sakamoto doesn't know it. And What I notice about all of this is that every time something happens, Tyra ends up saying, "Hey, go ahead, leave me behind. I'll catch up." And every time he does that, that's when he gets the green gems out of their hands. And so it's just like, he's being so sneaky right now. That's gonna come and bite you in the ass, man. Fucking karma on this island. Karma is on the island.
Yep.
Okay, so what happened next?
So, since they saw the fat boy, wash down this waterfall to where they were, they assumed that someone was up there who had killed this dude. So Sakamoto goes up, runs around, sees the dead teacher from way back when, and then sees the girl standing up on a cliff, Himiko. And he's like, I bet she's just like the worst of murderers. Who could this be? And then she chucks out a gas bomb. He runs and leads them right face to face. The fight.
Yep.
This is your favorite part?
This is my favorite part? Is that what I wrote? Oh, yeah. After a little. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, they start to throw down. She's like completely lost her mind, and she's yelling at him, all men are my enemies, and afraid that he's going to try to rape her and stuff like that. And they're like, just like the previous episode, they're going back and forth in a battle. She's matching him, he's matching her, and eventually she pulls out her taser and swings at him with it, and he like kicks her arm, and so her taser goes up, and she fucking tases herself and knocks herself out. And I sat there, I was laying in bed watching it this morning. I sat up and just started cracking up laughing, and so I typed it up on my notes. I was like, it's hilarious when she tased herself. Like, I woke up at that point. It was a good moment. Cracked me up. But then it got really, really awkward. Yep, because frickin' Sakamoto decided to take a peek at her panties.
Peeky poo.
But at the same time, that's when he realizes that's why the guy was pantless in the river and dead. And he was like, okay, so he tried to rape her, and that's why. And so he immediately put her skirt down. He's like, I'm, not going to do this. I'm going to make sure she feels safe. And so he continued later on whenever she woke up to be like, hey, whoa, I'm not going to do anything. Don't worry, like, back down. And she wakes up, and she ends up trying to kill herself. Pulls out her bomb, and again, for the second time in 3 episodes, she's about to take herself out because there's a guy around her, and the bomb gets down to 1 second, and Sakamoto grabs her thumb and presses the button to make sure it shuts it off, and he's like, no, let's not do this. And then she goes on to tell them all why they're all on the island. So they all knew how they ended up at the island, but now they know, like, just what went into them being chosen to be put on the island, which was that somebody had to have hated them enough to write their name down and send them to this island. And immediately everybody realizes who sent them. They all know instinctively. Tyra thinks that it's one of his customers because he's an asshole at work. He's like, I'm good to my family, but I'm kind of an asshole at work. He's like, I screw people over.
I go to the gray lines, and I do whatever it takes to get by.
Yep.
And then Sakamoto, like, it's horrible who did it, but it's also horrible how easily he could come to the conclusion that it was his mother.
Yep. He knows instinctively right away that it was his mom.
And that is just bad.
Yep. It was a sad moment there.
So who do you think do you think there are any people that would write your name on that letter?
That's a good question. I mean, I haven't made any enemies recently. Like, if I was talking in high school, there was people who would have written my name down. But, I don't know, for the past several years, I haven't done anything or pissed anybody off or tried to or anything like that. So, I don't think so, but what do I know? Maybe somebody saw one of my posts on Twitter or Facebook and thought, that guy's a douchebag! But that wouldn't be something I would have any idea that they would do. So, personally, I don't think. I know you would.
Personally, I think other than you.
Other
No.
than you. So then the episode ends with something coming at them from the woods, and it's like red beady eyes, and they're like, oh my god, is it wolves, is it whatever, blah blah blah, and it's actually Komodo dragons, which
Komodo dragons.
at first they describe as giant lizards. Like,
Godzilla.
okay. But one of the things I noticed during this episode, and it wasn't just this episode, but it was another one too, all the food they have is like spoofed names of real branded foods. And so Snickers was Snackers, and just like stuff like that. Just like that's a little thing that I see in anime a lot, and I think it's hilarious. I love that. They don't care if the logo is exactly the same and anything like that. Just change one letter in the.
The right of parody, man.
It's awesome. All right, so episode 6. Let's see. How does it start?
Okay, it starts back where the episode 5 left off. Here come the giant lizards. So the giant lizards are attacking. Tyra takes the girl to go to the other side, and Ryoto's like, whoa, I gotta get the Bims. Well, nothing without them. So he goes, throws a rock on one's neck, gets it to run away, starts grabbing Bims, and turns back to where they're getting attacked by a couple of them. And he just starts throwing bombs, and none of them are going off. And he can't figure out why for a little while. And then he realizes with her bomb, he had to use her finger to turn it off. Because you can't, unless you kill the person, you can't use their BIMs. So he desperately searches out for his one, and while he's doing that, Tyra gets bit.
Yeah, gets like chomped on his leg. But eventually he does find a BIM, and he does throw it over there and get them off. And they run away. And then what happens?
And then they're sitting there talking, walking kind of slowly because Tyra's leg, and he's carrying Himiko, so neither one of them can go very fast. And Tyra's talking about the fact how every time that Sakamoto runs off to fight this guy or to look for something or whatever, he always just sits there going, I bet he's not going to come back. He's just going to abandon me. No one could blame him. I'm just an old guy holding him back. And Sakamoto's just thinking like, oh, how could you think that, you know? Of course I came back. And then they get split, and Sakamoto freaks out. He's like, Tyra's got all the BIMs, he's got all the food. What does he need with us? We're so screwed. And a lizard comes up, about to eat him, and boom, Tyra's BIM, which is a little,
It's a heat seeker.
Heat seeker, yeah.
Yeah, they have a little bitty helicopter. They have a propeller on it and an aim, like a little scope. And so he aims it at them, makes sure it's lined up, clicks a button, helicopter, the little propeller starts to take off, and it flies at him and then blows up. But it has a very, very, very small radius. Very small.
Mm-hmm. And so he felt the exact same way as Tyra, which... I mean, I would think anyone would feel that way. You don't know the person. You're in a situation where everyone's life is on the line. Definitely not. It's hard to trust anyone.
Yeah.
So from there...
They find a fort.
A fort.
Like a giant cement building at the top of a hill. And they're trying to climb up it, when one of the ladder legs breaks and they all fall off and they all land on Tyra and bounce off of him. And then they see that some more Komodo dragons are coming. And so he yells at Sakamoto and he's like, take her up there, get her up, because she's still passed out from earlier. And so he tries to, and he realizes that it's not going to work. And so he just climbs up it all by himself after thinking about leaving her behind. And so Tyra turns around, sees him climbing up there, and he's like, you asshole! He's so mad. He's like, you're going to leave us to die! And then he takes one of the gas bombs, and he chucks it down into the woods where the Komodo dragons are, and it blows up, and it kills all the Komodo dragons, and then Tyra's like, oh, you saved us! Oh, thank you! Smart thinking! I'm sorry, I thought you were mean! And it was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
But then Himiko wakes up and she questions whether or not Sakamoto did something weird to her while she was sleeping, to which he immediately is like, and she realizes that he did, and she's like, "Ah, you're an asshole, you're a man, like, you're stupid," and it was so funny. And then Tyra starts to get really sick because of his bite, and he passes out more or less, and so they have to figure out how to take care of him. And let's see. At this time, you also get the camera pans to back at Tyrannos Japan, which is the company who developed the game Btooom, and they're all watching the island on many different TVs, watching all the killing and stuff like that. And specifically, they're watching Sakamoto, and they're paying attention to Sakamoto. Mm-hmm. One of the guys is like, so Sakamoto's still alive. Good, and then it goes back to the island, where Sakamoto uses his radar ping, and he notices that somebody's coming towards them, and he offers to be the decoy to go out there. And this is when the credits actually cue. But then after the credits, what happens?
After the credits, he's out there in the jungle, just walking around like, I wonder who it is. Radar ping. Sees a huge hulking dude with a knife behind him, ducks out of the way. It's the mercenary guy from before.
Yep.
And that's where it ends.
And that's where it ends. So, that is all 3 episodes of this week's book club.
All 6 episodes.
Well, yeah, all 6 episodes for the last 2 weeks, but all 3 episodes for this week's. So what did you think? Was it a good 3 episodes?
It was a good 3 episodes, though I, of course, hate the way it leaves us.
I know.
Waiting, wondering.
Gotta wait for the next week to be able to watch the new episodes and see what happens. Yeah, this episode, or these 3 episodes, a lot of good stuff happened. A lot of cool scenes, a lot of good fights. The fights between the kid and Sakamoto, the fight between Himiko and Sakamoto. I loved when he went up there to use the gas bomb on top of the fort and killed all the Komodo dragons. That was a really, really cool moment. So yeah, there was a lot of really good stuff. We're starting to figure out more. Now everybody knows, or at least the group we're following, they all know why they're on the island and who most likely sent them there. Which means now we just need to know really why specifically Tyrannos Japan is doing this. Like, what's their motive? Why are they putting them on the island? Is this going to be like a reality TV show? Or is this research for their game? Because when the camera panned out to them, one of the guys made note to the other guy to make sure he gets all of the data. He's like, no, you need to make sure you get all of the data. We need all of the data from this. And so it's just
so what's the data?
Yeah, like why? Unless you're developing a sequel to Btooom 2, we're going to have real people kill each other, and we're going to make a game based off of what they do.
I'm sure everyone will be okay with that.
Arc, Survival Evolved. I mean, add bombs and dinosaurs.
And the whole in the hand.
Yeah. Okay, so you had some questions.
So what violent action video game that actually exists, obviously, do you think you would be most likely to survive in?
Do you have an answer for yours?
It's really difficult. Like, I feel like it would have to be something with powers, because I would have to have powers to be able to survive, because I'm not going to say Call of Duty.
No, that's just war.
Yeah, I'm not surviving that. What are you talking about?
I wouldn't either. I'm more likely to survive something like a zombie game. Like, I've played so many and watched so many movies about it that I feel like I could do that before I could go to war. I would be better at surviving that. So I would say something like Dying Light or The Last of Us or Left 4 Dead, something along those lines.
I'd say The Walking Dead, just because the zombies aren't fast.
Yeah.
Because that wouldn't be necessarily too easy to kill a bunch of fast zombies.
And because every time something happens, you have different options. Square, triangle, circle.
I don't have to figure out what they are. I just go,
Yeah.
All right, which one looks best?
Yeah, exactly. And it gives you like a 5 second timer each time to make a decision in real life. Come on, like that seems easy.
Perfect. Because it's not like I'll be like, 5 seconds is such a short time, and just like pass out instead.
Yep. So you have
Timers gave anxiety.
timers giving anxiety. I agree. I totally agree. You have another question though.
Yeah, so why is Tyrannus Japan doing this? Do you have any theories? Like,
See, my biggest theory is it's reality TV, but I don't
But-
think. But with the data thing, that doesn't make sense.
and also, like, who are you showing this reality TV to? Because you're not going to just be able to put this on the air.
Well, that's what you think. You don't know what kind of world they live in.
Well, if they're so upset about being there, I think it's that kind of world that wouldn't be good.
Not
Plus,
necessarily.
it's pretty sensitive.
But I mean, yeah. I want to make a connection to Maze Runner, but you haven't started reading it yet, so I
So
can't.
shut up.
I know, so I can't say anything about that, but I really, really want to. I don't know. Maybe reality TV, maybe research for a game, a sequel or a spinoff, or maybe they're gonna start holding tournaments where the winner gets money or something like that, Btooom style, you know. And I have no idea. Like, can you imagine that though? Being the winner of it and getting like $10 million or whatever, and you have to sign like an NDA where you can't say anything about having to be on. You were on the island and stuff like that. You just go back into real life, get plugged back in, and you have $10 million.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Would you sign up
$10
for
million
that?
dollars, a lot on your conscience.
Yeah, post-traumatic stress and whatever.
You gotta spend all 10 million of that probably
PTSD?
on your psychiatrist.
Yeah. Do you have any theories?
It just seems like they're just studying people and how they would react to such situations, but it's got to be deeper than that.
Yeah.
I can't think of an actual situation or even a fantastical situation that you would come up with something like this and throw people into it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really weird. And then again,
Future Diary. It's a game made by a god to decide the next god.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so different.
maybe here's a theory. Maybe the world is overpopulated, and this is their way of thinning it out. They have all these islands, and they're putting people on the island based off of written consent forms from somebody who doesn't want somebody to live anymore. And they're thinning out the population by having them kill each other, and they're getting enjoyment. Watching it, researching, making a new game. I don't know.
Oh, that sounds totally legit. I think that's got to be the answer.
Probably not. So, character of the week, Josh. Who is your character of the week?
I'm a bad person. I'm a very
You
very very bad person.
You are.
Because my character of the week is Kira Kosuke, the insane little child.
Yeah. Yeah. He's 14, but he
He's
seems
14.
Yeah,
He's
but
a
he,
little child.
he seems like he's 10, but
Yeah.
he's 14. When they talked about him raping girls and stuff, and then they
See,
showed
I
him,
don't condone that.
I was like, wait, what? He's
Yeah.
14 and he looks like a kid and acts like a little bitty kid and raping girls and stuff, but he was killing frogs and he's weird.
I like his involvement on the island.
Yeah.
I endorse nothing prior, okay? It's just I like the crazy characters in anime, and
he likes the
he fits
murderer, rapists, frog killers.
not the second one. I like the murderer frog killers.
My character of the week was Sakamoto. It's kind of a cop out, but at the same time, I thought he was cooler in this episode because he did have the. This is a video game. It started that battle with the kid, and then how he was a badass in the fight against Himiko, and then how he peeked at her panties, and then how he threw the gas bomb and killed all the Komodo dragons, and then how he offered a set to be the distraction, which was also funny because we didn't mention that when he was the distraction, he was like, why am I doing this? Like, in the game, I love doing this, love being the distraction and helping people, but this is real life. I could die, and then that's when the mercenary guy comes out, and he's like, oh, you know. So like, yeah, he was a really big badass during these 3 episodes. So that was pretty cool.
Speaking of dying,
Speaking of dying, all right. So, what do you think's gonna happen next? What are you hoping happens? What are you looking forward to? What do you want to find out? Things like that.
I want to find out what Tyrannus Japan is doing.
Yeah, me too.
But what I hope happens is that he doesn't die to the mercenary.
Yeah.
And I hope I mean Tyra's made it. We're 6 episodes. We're halfway. Tyra's made it this far. Is it possible he makes it all the way?
I am very surprised he made it this far. Very
I know.
surprised.
I wouldn't have expected him to make it through the first 3 episodes, much less 6 now.
We made the prediction last week that he was gonna die, and he has not yet. He made it through another 3. He's halfway through. That's pretty cool.
You know what? I predict he dies in the next 3.
Yes, me too. I'm gonna make the same prediction. I expect Tyra's gonna die in the next 3 episodes. I still think I think Himiko is going to survive. I think Sakamoto is going to survive. Maybe the mercenary dies. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Sakamoto can't die because he's the main character. So maybe he finds a way to beat the mercenary guy who's about to kill him at the very end of the episode.
Yeah.
My prediction, definitely, he's going to win, and he's going to kill him somehow. His second kill.
What's interesting to me is I wonder, there's like 30-something people. You just have to get 8 to get off the island. Once you get 8 and you get off the island, does everyone else keep playing? Do they kill everyone else?
They'll probably kill everyone. Probably.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that some of the green gems are just going to be lost. Like the first one, the guy who blew up and flew into the ocean, his is gone. He didn't get it. So it's just like there's going to be several of them that people are dead somewhere and just nobody got it, nobody found it, something like that. Can you imagine somebody blowing up and the gym just flying out and going out into the woods somewhere? Be like, damn it! I killed him for no reason!
No.
Yeah. I also want to figure out what they're doing, why they're putting these people on the island. Like, you think we would find out in the next 3, but maybe not till the final 3. Hopefully we get a little bit more light shed on that. I also really I hope that Sakamoto and Himiko realize that they were married in the game. I want that to happen, and I want to see how awkward that is. I really want to see that because they tried to kill each other earlier and everything and fought and all that stuff. And so I hope that these next 3 episodes they're going to figure that out and see how that changes the dynamic of their group. Yeah, that'll be fun if that happens soon.
Will be fun.
Anything else?
I want to see more of Glasses guy with the tattoo and everything. I want him back.
Yeah,
he the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, he didn't make an appearance. He only made 1 appearance, and that was at the very end of that 1 episode. So he's only been in it once. Interesting. Yeah, good point.
I miss him.
Okay, so before we wrap up the episode, we're gonna do our Geeks by Night threesome. Which this week, what is it?
3 anime characters you would pick last for your sports team.
For your sports team. All right, so we're in gym class. We've got all these anime characters lined up. We are the team captains, and we get down to the final three people per team to pick. Who is the first one you're going to pick? The 3rd person on your list.
Oh man, it's my pick, huh?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to have to go with Naoto. And why is he so low? Why is Naoto from FLCL so low? Because he won't swing the bat.
Good one.
How is he supposed to be on my baseball team? He won't swing the bat.
That's good. I like it.
Come on, kid.
All right. My turn. Who do I want on my team? There's some really shitty people left. I'm going to go with Cone from Bleach, the little fucking teddy bear. Because how is he going to be athletic? He ain't going to help me. He's a little freaking teddy bear. He's made of, like, what is it, cotton and stuff. Like, he ain't going to do anything. I don't want Cone on my team. Plus, he's annoying.
Oh, man, there's so few left here. Excalibur.
I was going to pick him. I thought about that.
And he might be successful, but it was hard to pick him earlier when I was picking the better players because he's just so annoying. I don't need to go through a list of like 1,000 different chores just to get him to be on my team.
Nobody wants an annoying guy on their team.
No, nobody.
Okay, you're not leaving me with very many choices here. I guess of the remaining, I'll go with Gluttony from Full Metal Alchemist. I really didn't want Gluttony on my team. He's a fatty. All likelihood he'll probably get hungry, eat half of the court or the field or whatever we're on, suck it all up into his belly. Nobody wants that. All the players. Damn it. Fucking Gluttony.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. My mom told me to pick the very worst anime character to be on my sports team, and you are unfortunately Itaru Hashida from Steins Gate.
I like it.
He is a chubby, computer-obsessed NEET.
Yes, he is.
And there is no sport that man I could picture him playing. Maybe if we make a curling team. I'll invite him.
Good.
But that's it.
That's a good choice. I like it. So my final one.
So I'm sorry, I only left.
My final one. It was actually the first one I chose, and I knew I wanted him to be my number one. And it is Fat Gotenks from Dragon Ball Z. And I don't know how much you know about Dragon Ball Z here, but they do the fusion dance, and they can fuse two of their characters. But you have to do it exactly right. And if you don't, your fusion will mess up in some way, somehow. And they messed it up, and they formed Fat Gotenks. And he is just this fat, short tub of lard who is super, super lazy, has the like mental energy that they have, but he gets worn out like in 2 steps, and it's just so funny. He's like like panting and stuff, and he is absolutely one of my favorite characters ever because he's so funny, and he's only in it for like 3 minutes, but it's really, really good. So yeah, he would be a mess to have on my sports team because he would put forth no effort. He couldn't do anything. It would be great. Fat Gotenks.
I hope we picked good people at the beginning of our sports teams because right now they look pretty sad.
Yeah, no shit. Fat Gotenks, you are Mr. Irrelevant in today's draft. Okay, so that wraps up episode 5 of the
Geeks by Night Subbed and Dubbed Anime Book Club.
A lot more energy that time. Thank you. Next week, we will return on Saturday between 2 and 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we will talk about episodes 7 through 9 of Btooom and episodes 4 through 6 of Wakakozake. I'm trying to memorize that. We'll see if I got that right. So hopefully you'll join us for that. If you have any suggestions for the podcast, any news you want us to talk about, any topics you want to talk about, or a threesome or something, you can email us. Super easy at contact@geeksbynight.com. I repeat, contact@geeksbynight.com. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We are on YouTube. We are on iTunes. We are on Twitch. We are on all of the social media, all the podcast services. All you got to do is search for Geeks by Night or Nightly Geeks. All of the links for all of those sites are going to be in the description of every podcast. So if you're listening to this somewhere, check the description. It's there. And if you like it, please subscribe. Please recommend your friends listen to us. Anything like that. If you want them to listen to us just ramble about anime and bouncing boobs and psycho rapist kids and all that good stuff.
All that good stuff.
We're both on Twitter. I am at Osborne_2009 and Josh is
at got_it_made43.
So until next time, peace.
その尻尾を塗りつぶすために整理してきた未来